Hello again, YouTube. It's Skylar. Welcome back to my face. And today's video is going to be a story time. Now, it's actually going to be a little bit more of a personal one because I'm going to be telling you about the moment where I arrived at the conclusion that I am actually transgender, which is a little more nuanced than just an exact point in time. So I'm going to be going over that a little bit, mostly because I've had people recommend that I discuss some things that are a little more personal. I'm not going to go into too much detail because my personal life is separate from my work life. So I'm not going to give the nitty-gritty, but I will give the general overview. Now, for those who don't know, prior to my transition, the years leading up to it, I was suffering from severe depression. And this progressively got worse as time went on. And this depression sort of culminated itself in things such as overworking and drinking too much and just antisocial behavior and just sort of really down. And for a long time, I kind of just accepted that as the norm. But as far back as I could remember in middle school, I had always vaguely had the understanding that I was a trans woman, but I never really fully accepted that because I was in severe denial of that fact. So it was a little over a year ago today that my depression had gotten to the point where I had hit a low point and unfortunately ended up in the hospital. And I had to take some time to reevaluate my life and do a little soul searching. And after doing that for a few months, once I had been on antidepressants and I was getting the help that I needed, I was really able to reflect back on my life and look really deep at the deeper issues as to what might be causing this. And the understanding was that I was transgender, but I couldn't accept that. And I had to really talk to myself and have those hard conversations because I knew that if I didn't resolve this, my problem wasn't going to go away. And so what I had done was I had started pre-transitioning without even realizing it in a way. I had started by buying new clothes. Now these weren't female clothes, these were just male clothes that were more gender neutral. In a way, not really, but it sort of helped me get closer to this idea that something needs to change. And for about a few weeks, the new clothes gave me a little bit of self-confidence, but I quickly reverted back to my depressive state. So I kept digging and digging, and then I started doing research into transgender, and at this time I didn't know anything about it. I was very scared. I had a lot of anxiety. I was still depressed, and I started to look towards other people who had transitioned and their journey and their experience, and a lot of the same things that they dealt with, I could resonate with that and I could empathize and understand that, and I saw those challenges within myself. And so I started to explore those deeper until I realized, probably after I had already started laser hair treatment and shaving my body hair, there was a moment where I think it was actually once I had shaved my arm hair. I don't know why arm hair, but I shaved my arm hair for the first time in my life since it had grown when I was younger, and I had this overwhelming sense of relief, a deep sense of calm, and just something in my brain told me that this was the correct thing to do. And feeling how soft my skin felt afterwards and how smooth it was and hairless, that was the moment where something clicked for me and said, this thing that keeps coming up your whole life, it's not going to go away, and it's the reason why you're unhappy. And that was the moment where I realized that, yeah, I've been suffering from gender dysphoria ever since I was a little kid. And that realization is what set into motion me actually making the changes that I needed to become my authentic self and a happy, normal person. So I'll never forget the day that I woke up and realized that I need to start transitioning. And it still wasn't that point that I realized I was transgender. I just knew that there was something deeply wrong that I needed to correct, and that seemed like a good place to start, because that was the thing that had been bothering me for so long. And it actually wasn't up until I had gotten my hormones for the first time that I had realized, yes, this is what I have to do. Because I was still pretty skeptical. I'm a very analytical thinking person. I like to think logically. So when it came to something like transgender, you can't rely on logic and analytics. It has to be from the heart. It has to be, how does it feel? Your emotions, your emotional thinking. And that was something that I had to overcome. That barrier of having to solve a problem with emotions, because that's the only way that you could solve it. And so I had to look deep into my emotions and sort of really get in touch with those. And that's what kind of helped me allow myself to let the barriers down for myself so that I could move past the skepticism and the hardcore denial. And then once I had started hormone therapy and started the process of transitioning, everything in my mind clicked. It was almost like there was a fire in my head for as long as I could remember. And as soon as I had started the hormone therapy, the fire went out. Like everything in my mind just fell into place, and everything just felt normal for the first time. I felt an enormous sense of calm and well-being, and just this sense of relief. And I can't equate that to any other feeling. I can't equate that to any other experience. The feeling that you're not who you are is so central and deep to a person's being that I don't think there is anything that could be relatable to that understanding of, I need to do this to be happy, and this is literally the only way. So, without getting a little too emotional there, that was my experience in general with how I came to the realization and acceptance that I am transgender. And ever since then, I have flourished and been nothing but happy. And obviously, I still have challenges in life, as everybody does, bills and whatnot, but all of those seem so much more insignificant now. Like, those challenges seem like just arbitrary things that everybody has to deal with now that this looming depression is finally lifted off my shoulders, and I can finally just move on with life and just be a normal person. So I hope that video was helpful and insightful for anybody out there who may be experiencing the same thing. As with always, I am not a doctor. This is not a health video. If you have any medical related questions or information that you need, please seek medical advice, not me. And I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day. Please continue to like, share, and subscribe to my videos so that I can keep producing amazing content. You guys help me out so much. And I will see you all tomorrow in the next video. Bye.